Over the last few years, a lot of people have been talking about how artificial intelligence will transform medicine for the better. And eventually that might happen. But in the current moment, AI is being used for something very different in medicine, and almost entirely focused on the financial interest of just a few. And for the Americans that are caught in the middle of it, it could end up being really costly. Some in the industry have called this the battle of the bots. In this video, we're going to take a look at who's winning this battle in US healthcare and why, if it continues much longer, it could have seriously detrimental effects for the average American. Let's dive in. In the so-called battle of the bots, there's two sides. There's the insurance companies and then there's the hospital systems, who are the major underdogs. But you need to know about two different things to fully understand this battle. In the US, if you have insurance and you go to the doctor, the hospital sends a bill to the insurance company to pay. So the insurance company usually does one of two things. They either approve the bill and pay, or they deny the bill, also known as a claim. There's also this thing called prior authorizations, which is when your doctor has to submit a request to your insurance company, and doctors working with the insurance company decide whether the treatment, medication, or scan is approved or denied. So here's the thing, prior authorizations are fairly repetitive. It's either an approval or a denial, approval, denial. And so insurance companies with their crazy profits decided to invest significantly in artificial and automated systems to get them done faster. In fact, reports have shown that doctors can now deny a bunch of prior authorizations all at once, sometimes without even looking at somebody's specific file, which is insane. But here's the thing, tons of these AI and automated denials are overturned after they're appealed. Meaning if a hospital says, hold on, this patient really does need this care, and shows evidence that the patient does need it, the insurance company later changes their mind and says, okay, actually it's okay, it's approved. In fact, this happens to more than 50% of appeals. But automated denials hurt hospitals much worse than they hurt insurance companies, because very few people actually appeal them, less than 1% actually. So when an insurance company denies something, justified or not, they usually don't end up paying it. Meanwhile, hospitals have to hire staff to chase those denials down, which costs them money every single time. So what do hospitals do when they're losing millions to automated denials that their human staff just simply can't keep up with? Well, some of them are actually building bots of their own to fight back. Okay, so before we can get into what those bots actually do, you need to understand why hospitals are the underdog in this fight. While insurance companies were using their billions in profit to scale up approval and denial technology, most hospitals were pouring their money into something else entirely over the last few years: electronic health records. They had to do it, and it left them with little room to experiment with automation or artificial intelligence in other parts of their operations. By the time the insurance denials started to ramp up, most hospital systems had almost no automation on the revenue side, meaning things like billing, claims follow-ups, and appeals were still handled by people slowly, one at a time. But some things have just started to change. Some hospital systems like Luminous Health have begun to use machine learning and robotic process automation to understand why certain claims are denied and to clean them up before they're even submitted. Using their bots, they were able to respond to insurance companies faster, which the next hospital system took to a whole new level. When a patient's admitted to a hospital, hospitals must tell an insurance company that a person entered the hospital within 24 hours or they risk an automatic denial. And denials like this happen all the time. To deal with that, Care New England built bots that send these notifications instantly, since no real medical judgment is required anyway. But this decision alone cut authorization-related denials by 55%. And of course, the most popular hospital system in the United States, Mayo Clinic, built bots to handle almost every repetitive billing task that there is. Their bots check whether insurance companies have processed a claim, they close out duplicate denials, and then they track down those prior authorizations we've talked about. Work that obviously could take employees hours every single day. But one thing to note here is these are major hospital systems that are operating on huge budgets, some over $1 billion a year. They have the money to fight this battle of the bots. But what about the hospital systems that are not profitable, or the rural ones that are barely staying open? An increase in AI-powered denials could push some of these systems into an impossible situation. And ultimately, in this war between giant insurance companies and billion-dollar hospital networks, although they're going to take some damage in this fight, they're not going to be the real loser. The real loser is going to be the patient. When hospitals and insurance companies spend more and more money on expensive automated systems just to outdo each other, how are they going to maintain their revenues? They're going to have to increase their costs. And who ends up paying those costs? There is a chance that a collaborative model emerges for insurance companies and hospital systems where they don't engage in a zero-sum fight, but right now both are digging their heels in. If you found this video interesting and you'd like to see more like it in the future, please consider subscribing. This is Tyler Dutchover. Thanks for watching.